It's Valentine's Day today. Araw ng mga puso. Puso in Filipino, it means heart. Okay, so puso means heart. So Araw ng mga puso, that is what we call Valentine's Day in Filipino. In this video, we'll learn about words, phrases, and sentences that you might find helpful if you have decided to express your love, pag-ibig to that special someone today, Araw ng mga puso. So, welcome to my channel, Learn to Speak Filipino for Tourists and Expats. Now, let me share my screen with you. Here are your common and useful words, phrases, and sentences for love and romantic relationship. Let's begin with words first, and with the most common, mahal. Mahal. Mahal is the most common word in Filipino for love. Mahal. Mahal. Now, if you want to be poetic, or you want to make it literary or deeper, then you use the word ibig. Ibig. Ibig also means love, but this is used more on poems, literature, rather than everyday conversation. Ibig. Gusto means like. Gusto. Gusto. Ikaw. Ikaw in Filipino is the pronoun you in English. In our past lessons, in our past videos, we have always used the shorter version ka, but ka comes from the longer version, which is ikaw. In the next slides or in the next phrases and sentences, you will see how ikaw is used instead of the more common ka that we have been learning in the past videos. So, ikaw meaning you. Iyo is also the pronoun you in Filipino. So, this is another form of you or ka for that matter, but iyo is used with the prepositions, most especially or more commonly with the preposition sa. So sa is a Filipino preposition that represents a lot more preposition or means a lot more prepositions in English. So when you use sa together with iyo, sa then could mean two or four. So any other preposition in English, you can substitute sa in Filipino. So iyo is always used with sa. Okay? So when you use iyo, okay, there is always sa that comes before it. So you always hear sayo. So when sa and iyo are put together in a sentence, Filipinos pronounce only the second syllable in iyo. So you only hear yo. So the whole phrase, prepositional phrase using you, sayo. So you will encounter a lot of phrases or expressions in the next slides using sayo. Aside from sayo, we also get to know the pronoun kita. Kita. So you say kita. There is no English equivalent or pronoun in English for kita. Why is that so? Because this is one of the nuances of Filipino or the Filipino language. So kita is a pronoun that combines I and you. If I and you, both pronouns ako and ka, will be placed or used together in the Filipino sentence, we use kita. So kita is a combination of I and you. Kita. Common also for Filipinos is to use lang. Lang comes from the word lamang, which in the context of this video means only. So instead of using the longer version, lamang, okay, you will see in the expressions that we use lang, the shorter version, but they mean the same, only. So lang, lang. So before you say anything to that special someone, you want first to get a feel or to introduce or maybe the mood, okay, to get into the context of how important what you're going to say is. So you say, may sasabihin ako sa'yo. May sasabihin ako sa'yo. I have something to tell you. So this is your intro, your introduction to whatever important thing, sasabihin, that you want to say. May sasabihin ako sa'yo. May sasabihin ako sa'yo. May sasabihin ako sa'yo. Okay, then you proceed. After saying this, you proceed to whatever important that you're going to say. So, moving on. Mahal kita. I love you. Mahal kita in Filipino, that means I love you in English. Mahal kita. Mahal kita is how to say I love you in Filipino. Notice that we used kita in the expression, but it means, okay, as I was saying earlier, there is the I and you, or I, ako, okay, and ka, okay, in the sentence. Okay, so you put I, which is ako, and then you put you also in the sentence, which is ka. So instead of saying that the literal translation, I, ako, mahal ka, in Filipino, we say I love you by saying mahal kita. So notice that there is no ako and ka in the expression mahal kita. Ako and ka were combined in the pronoun kita. So mahal kita. Now if you want to be quite poetic, dramatic, or intense, okay, instead of saying mahal kita, then you can say iniibig kita. Iniibig kita. I love you. That's another way of saying I love you in Filipino. However, this is the way actors and actresses express their feeling in romantic movies in Filipino. So the most common is not iniibig kita because the usage is, or the context is poetic or dramatic or intense. So instead of using iniibig kita, we use mahal kita. That is more common to say I love you. Mahal kita instead of iniibig kita. So, kailangan kita. I need you. Kailangan kita. Kailangan kita. Gusto kita. Gusto kita. I like you. So when you say gusto kita in Filipino, it means I like you. So notice again that we use kita for combined ko and ka. Gusto kita. Ikaw lang. Ikaw lang. Ikaw lang means there's only you. There's only you. Ikaw lang. Ikaw lang. Ikaw lang. Basta ikaw. Anything for you. Or I'll do anything for you. This is what people say to their special someone when that person, that special someone, asks them for a favor. Okay, so after that special someone says, maraming salamat, okay, the person who did the favor or that someone special say basta ikaw. So that means that's another way of saying anything for you, or I'll do anything for you. Basta ikaw. Basta ikaw. Dahil sa'yo. There's even a song entitled Dahil sa'yo. Dahil means because. So earlier, sa could be any preposition. Okay, so here, then, it could also be interpreted as of. Okay, so the whole dahil sa'yo, because of you. Dahil sa'yo. Then you just add anything else, okay, after that. So, dahil sa'yo, ... whatever you need to add that is related to expressing because of that person. So, dahil sa'yo. Ikaw ang gusto ko. You are the one I want. Ikaw ang gusto ko. Ikaw ang gusto ko. Ikaw ang gusto ko. Ikaw lang ang gusto ko. You are the only one I want. Ikaw lang ang gusto ko. Ikaw lang ang gusto ko. Ikaw ang mahal ko. You are the one I love. Ikaw ang mahal ko. Ikaw ang mahal ko. Ikaw lang ang mahal ko. You are the only one I love. Ikaw lang ang mahal ko. Ikaw lang ang mahal ko. Ikaw ang para sa akin. You are the one for me. Ikaw ang para sa akin. Ikaw ang para sa akin. Ikaw lang ang para sa akin. You are the only one for me. Ikaw lang ang para sa akin. Ikaw lang ang para sa akin. May gusto ako sa'yo. Oh, this is the way to express that I have a crush on you. May gusto ako sa'yo. May gusto ako sa'yo. Na-miss kita. I missed you. We use the word miss in English because it's more common. The equivalent or the word for miss in Filipino is not only longer but not commonly used. Okay, so when we want to express we missed someone or I missed you, we say na-miss kita. Na-miss kita. Na-miss kita. Okay, so if you want to answer, okay, you want to answer that you missed that person too, then you can say, na-miss din kita. Na-miss din kita. Na-miss din kita. Okay, this is what I was saying. So if there is iniibig kita earlier, okay, in a poetic and dramatic sense, okay, and you don't want to use na-miss kita because you'd like to use the Filipino word or that means miss, then you say nangungulila ako sa'yo. Okay, so this, again, the usage is poetic, dramatic, and intense. Okay, this is not the usual way to say or the casual way to express you miss the person. Okay, so nangungulila ako sa'yo. Nangungulila ako sa'yo. Okay, so I miss you. Or really, the meaning of nangungulila is yearning. Okay, so nangungulila ako sa'yo. Okay, so then, to emphasize the context, this is poetic, dramatic, and intense. Okay, example of the context would again be the Filipino movies. Okay, romantic Filipino movies in the 1950s or in the 1960s. Okay, but then just to show you nangungulila, that there is a word, okay, that could mean miss, but it's deeper and it's not commonly used. Okay, so hence we adopted the word miss in English and used it as na-miss kita instead of using nangungulila ako sa'yo. Hinahanap-hanap kita. If I'm not mistaken, there are, I think, at least 2 songs, okay, with this title. Okay, hinahanap-hanap kita. I keep looking for you. Hanap means look. Okay, so hinahanap-hanap kita means I keep looking for you. So hinahanap-hanap kita. Hinahanap-hanap kita. Now, if you want to make sure that you're officially as a couple, then you say tayo na. You declare it that we're together now. Tayo na. So that means we're a couple now or we're together now. Okay, recall in the past videos the meaning of tayo, which is we inclusive. Tayo means we inclusive of the person you're speaking with or the listener. So in romantic or love relationships, tayo na is declaring that you're officially together. We're together now or we're a couple now. Now, if you're not sure, but you want to ask, then it could be, so it becomes official, then you make it a question by adding ba. So you say, tayo na ba? So are we officially together now? Or are we officially a couple now? So, tayo na ba? Tayo na ba? So, when people are wondering if the two of you are a couple, then they ask you, okay, so if you haven't made it official yet and they're wondering, so people will ask you, kayo na ba? Kayo na ba? Kayo, if you remember, in the past lessons on personal pronouns, kayo is the plural form of ka. So, kayo na ba? Are you together now? Okay, or are you a couple now? So, this is the answer to kayo na ba? Okay, kami na. Okay, again, we recall the lesson about personal pronouns. Kami is we, exclusive or not including the listener. Okay, so kami na, we exclusive. Okay, so if you want to affirm and or make it officially declare that you're together to a friend or to a relative or to a colleague, then you say kami na. Okay, we're together now or we're a couple now. Again, kami is the pronoun we, but not including the listener or the person spoken to. All right. So then the promises begin. Okay? Gagawin ko ang lahat para sa'yo. Okay? I'll do everything for you. Okay? So now that you're together, the promises begin. Okay? So gagawin ko ang lahat para sa'yo. Gagawin ko ang lahat para sa'yo. Gagawin ko ang lahat para sa'yo. Napakaswerte ko sa'yo. I'm so lucky to have you. Napakaswerte ko sa'yo. Napakaswerte ko sa'yo. Ikaw ang lahat sa akin. If I'm not mistaken, okay, there are at least 2 or 3 songs in Filipino entitled Ikaw ang lahat sa akin. Okay? Of course, there are also songs that are entitled, in Filipino, that are entitled Ikaw. Okay? Aside from that, there are also songs that are entitled Ikaw ang lahat sa akin. Okay? You're everything to me, or you're my everything. Of course, in English, there's also a song that is entitled that way. No? So, ikaw ang lahat sa akin. Ikaw ang lahat sa akin. Sa'yo lang ako. I'm just yours, or there's no one else. Okay? Sa'yo lang ako. Sa'yo lang ako. Sa'yo lang ako.
So, what are you waiting for? Choose any of those words, phrases, or sentences relevant to you so you can already express your feelings in Filipino. Maligayang araw ng mga puso!